Look at the movement, the motion, the details, the smoke, the fires, the sky, the water. Hey everyone, today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the Sceptre 24-inch business computer monitor. I did receive this sample from Sceptre to check out today, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this monitor or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. Here's a look at the retail box and packaging. Everything looks great. This is a full HD monitor at 1920 by 1080p. It has a 75 Hz refresh rate, features adaptive sync technology, and it has a blue light shift mode. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the contents. All right, it's time for a quick viewer intervention. Yes, I'm talking to you. No, don't look away. I'm talking to you right now. In the last 28 days, almost 40,000 of you have viewed the TV Chef channel, but only 98 of you have become a subscriber. So would you please consider clicking that subscribe button? Bonus points if you like, comment, and share our videos as well. If you don't like our videos, please give it a thumbs down, click that dislike button, and tell us why in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you either way. Also, bonus points for you if you want to share it with an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, a strange sibling, spouse. You get the idea. We'd be grateful for that as well. Here are all the contents. First up, we have our product literature featuring our 1-year warranty information, a customer service and contact card. We have the user guide and manual that's very thorough and detailed, walking you through everything you need to know about your monitor, from stand setup to all the buttons and controls. This is a VESA 100 by 100 mount if you want to use your own stand. Different connection options. They spend a lot of time going over the menu, all the settings here for you. Very thorough and detailed. Supported resolution. So whether it's HDMI or VGA, you'll get 1920 by 1080 at 60 or 75 Hertz. Troubleshooting section for you. Then we have some cleaning instructions as well as tech specs. So two 2-watt speakers, 98% sRGB, 5 millisecond response time G to G, 300 nits for our brightness, 30,000 plus hours for the LED backlight. We also have our dimensions right there. 6.29 pounds with stand, 5.76 pounds without stand. And then we have our warranty information again. Next, we have one included cable. It's a nice HDMI cable, followed by our Sceptre Phillips head screwdriver. You get this with every Sceptre monitor. It's always my favorite accessory. 2 neck screws, our neck screw covers, our power supply and adapter right there, our included stand, 2 plastic pieces. And lastly, we have the monitor itself. Let's go ahead, let's look at that in more detail. Here's a look at the back side of the monitor. We got the Sceptre logo in branding, front and center. We have our menu and control buttons right here and our power button. There's the 2 speakers, additional product information, our 100 by 100 VESA mount, and our included stand connector right there. All of our different connection options right here, 2 HDMI ports in yellow, clearly labeled with 75 Hertz in parentheses. Then we got our legacy VGA port, same thing, 75 Hertz in parentheses. Audio in, audio out, DCI in for our power. Kensington security lock under this little piece of blue tape right there. Here's a look at the side profile. It's very slim and thin up at the top, a little bit thicker down here with all the internals being housed. Look at it from the top down. Really nice. Again, slim and sleek. Here's a look at the very bottom, the thickest part of this monitor. And now we can look at it from the very front as well. Our HDMI 75 Hertz sticker, Sceptre's logo and branding. Nice finish here. Near bezel-less design, looks nice. And then we have a plastic protector on the screen that we'll remove. Now let's go ahead, let's get the stand installed. So to install the stand, we're gonna take the 2 plastic pieces that you see right here, and we have these 4 lips that are gonna line up just like this at an angle, and you're gonna twist it in place. So maybe you can see in there, the grooves that we have. This is only going to go one way and only twist one way. So line it up like you see right here. Drop it in at an angle and then twist. It'll snap in place. There we go. We just assembled the stand. Now we're left with attaching it to the monitor. So we have the 2 included neck screws. You're going to drop them right down in here. And you'll notice where they're going to go on the back of the monitor, just like this. You'll drop the 2 screws in, fasten everything in place, and then when you're done, you'll drop this cover right here to tidy everything up. There we go. The stand is fully assembled right here. So let's stand it up, and you'll see the options that we have. We have the ability to tilt it back and a smidge forward, but that's it. If you want to rotate it to the left or the right, literally pick it up and move it how you want it. And if you want to increase the height, add some books to it. That's going to be all you'll get with this really basic stand. We'll look at the tilt from the side. So there's our max tilt down. And then here's our max tilt back, or you could land somewhere in between with this stand. Now let's go ahead, plug it in, power it on, and look at the menu settings. So the monitor's plugged in, powered on, and connected to a desktop PC. Let's push the M button on the back right here. And now we're taken to our menu settings. Currently we're HDMI 1, 1920, 1080 at 75 Hertz, so that's great to see. Let's go into our quick start option. I'm not going to explain each individual setting. Sceptre does a great job of that down below here in the description box, but I'll walk you through all the different setting options that we have. Our image presets, we can choose between different image modes, volume, aspect ratio, source, blue light shift, and adaptive sync. We can turn that on or off. Let's go back. Let's go down to our picture settings now. Preset, DCR, aspect ratio, and sharpness. Let's go to our next option, color, temperature, gamma, tint, saturation, and blue light shift again. And then let's move down to our last setting. This is our system settings. We got overdrive, adaptive sync, sleep mode, language, OSD position, OSD timer, OSD transparency, volume, mute, and a complete system factory reset. Just pay attention to how easy everything is to navigate. It's nice, clean, laid out, and they have that built-in description box letting you learn more and understand the different settings that you may want to change on your monitor. I can confirm within our Windows Advanced Display settings, we are getting 1920 1080 at technically 74.973 Hertz. If you're maybe seeing 1080 by 60 Hertz and you want to change that, just head to this drop-down menu right here. Says refresh rate, and choose the refresh rate that you want. On the display now, you'll see this video playing here, and we're going to cycle between the different image presets so you can get a feel for how they're going to change the image and what's being displayed. Obviously, choose the mode that works best for you and what you like, and obviously the game you're playing, things like that. You'll get the idea there. So let's cycle through them. Currently, we're in standard, RTS, FPS, Eco, Movie, User, back to standard. Do that quick cycle again here. And don't forget, we do have the user section where a lot of this will be customizable for you. Let me show you that. So again, now we can change the backlight, the brightness, or the contrast. But again, pay attention how each different preset and mode is going to change how everything looks. Choose a favorite preset. Set your own, you get the idea. Next up, we got the UFO test here, showing you different FPS values, all coming in at 75 Hertz for our refresh rate. At the bottom, we got 19 FPS, and look at how sputtery, staggery, bouncy, choppy, however you want to call it, the alien looks, the UFO as it's moving across the screen. Then we double the FPS value to 38, and we're seeing a pretty substantial improvement there. This just shows you the importance of FPS values, and the higher FPS value you can get, the smoother the footage and gameplay is going to be. So if you're a gamer out there, this is where having even the extra 15 Hertz for the refresh rate will give you an extra 15 FPS, assuming your system or console allows, and you'll get that much smoother footage and gameplay. So this is why if your system can allow for it, you want a higher FPS value and you want to get the highest refresh rate monitor possible. So when we double from 38 to 75, again, much smoother and that much more of an enjoyable experience when you're gaming. So now let's talk about backlight bleed and IPS glow. In case you're wondering, this is an IPS display. That's my favorite panel type, but most, I should say, just about every IPS panel has IPS glow, whether it's budget friendly or really high end. So it depends on the angle that you're looking at it, and generally it will appear in the corners. And for this particular monitor, I did notice a little bit up here, but basically looking at it from this side at an upward angle below the monitor, again, basically in the pitch black dark. Does it affect anything? No. Is it there all the time? No, it's just that acute angle, whatever you want to call it. So don't worry, don't fret. I didn't notice any backlight bleeding. That would be more of like a severe defect along the edges. Nothing like that. Just a little bit of IPS glow in this corner. I also want you to know that your experience could be 100% completely different because it really does vary panel to panel. Now let's talk about color accuracy and representation with this particular panel. Now, first thing I want to say is these are just my own findings. These are not official in any way, so defer to Sceptre and their calibration tools and their reports and everything else, because they're the manufacturer and they have access to a lot more stuff than I do. But I did use DisplayCal to run the results to see what we were able to get. Sceptre does advertise 99% sRGB. I'm showing that for sRGB we're getting 94%, so we fell about 5% short of what they advertised for our RGB coverage, and our volume is 105.9%. Next up, for Adobe RGB, we're showing 68.9% coverage and 73% even for our volume. Lastly, for DCI P3, we're showing 75% coverage and 75% for our volume. Let's take a look at our web browsing test. This is a simple test, just trying to give you a realistic expectation of how everything looks and displays on this monitor when you're browsing the web. Keep in mind, as with everything else, we have a camera pointing at a display, so it just never looks as good as if you were here in person. But we got YouTube pulled up. This is the trending page. Look at how nice everything looks, easy to read and navigate and see, clear and crisp. Super responsive. Next, we have The Verge, so if you want to read some news online, like The Verge, a popular tech blog, you can do that. Again, we got ads. Look at all the embedded options, comments, images, videos, TikToks even. Let's just click on an article here. The titles, the paragraphs. Super clear, super crisp. Everything's really easy to read. Nothing's blurry, fuzzy, or anything like that. And then lastly, maybe you want to do some shopping, right? We got Amazon pulled up right here. Look at how nice it looks. Very easy to find exactly what you're looking for. The images look nice for the product listings. You get the idea. Now we're testing out the built-in speaker quality. We currently have the volume maxed out at 100. We're listening to the song Dripping with Ice from Music Chef. Music Chef is home to DMCA-free and stream-safe music for content creators. The speakers, if you're listening, you can hear them from the back and actually see them. Not super full or even that loud. They're not going to pack a punch, knock your socks off or anything like that. Very basic and simple. And basically there was no noticeable volume increase from going from 50 all the way up to 100, so keep that in mind. If you're up against a wall, it might sound a little bit better, bouncing off right back to your ears. Doesn't sound bad, just not rich or full. Very much in line with what you expect from monitor speakers. I'm just glad Sceptre includes them at all. Usually at their really competitive price points, that's one of the first things to go, right, to cut costs. So it's just one of those value adds that Sceptre has. As I always say, I'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them. Next, it's time to test the input lag on this monitor. Now keep in mind, input lag is different from response time. This monitor has a 5 millisecond response time, but the input lag is going to be basically the delay or the lag between a command, what's being communicated, and when it's being displayed. That's what this box is doing for us. So let's go ahead, let's see what our results are right here. So we're showing roughly 1.5, 1.4 milliseconds. I like 1.5. So 1.5 milliseconds for our input lag. I'll show you the middle value as well. 8.8 milliseconds, and our bottom should be right around 16. 16 even for our bottom value. The lower the result, the better. Usually with Sceptre monitors, we'll see around 1 millisecond, and it really doesn't get that much faster. We've recorded a couple that are under 1 millisecond, and we've had some as high as 18 milliseconds, but that's well within range. You won't notice any sort of input lag, whether you're gaming or just doing daily business or office tasks on this monitor. It's time to talk gaming. First up on the display right here, we have Forza 5. This game, let me tell you, looks so good, honestly, on any monitor. The level of detail in this game is top notch, which is why it's nice to see it on a panel like this. So follow the car, look at the movement, the motion, all the other cars it's racing, the changing scenery, the lights, the shadows, the blacks, the horizon, the reflections even. So you can get a feel for what it's like to game on this monitor if that's something you're going to do with it. (1080p) 75 hertz in case you're wondering, and we're getting 75 FPS right now up here at the top. This game always looks so good. I mean, just look at it, and then the raindrops, the water, the detail. And I'm looking at it off to the side. The IPS panel is great for that viewing angle, even if you're not directly staring at it. Now we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla pulled up on the display. Look at this gameplay footage. Look at the movement, the motion, the details, the smoke, the fires, the sky, the water, the characters. You get the idea. All about that movement, motion, how smooth everything is. Obviously, a lot of this will depend on your system and what it's capable of handling. I like the look back here in the town and the ruins, the smoke rising, the different colors, the contrast. Looks nice. Lastly, we got some Borderlands 3 footage up on the display right now. Currently, we're getting over 75 FPS at 75 hertz. We're rocking 120 FPS at 75 hertz, full HD. Got our sparks and embers right there. Got some characters that are arguing. FPS is climbing now. 130, almost 140. There we go. 140, 150, 160. So close to 170. I think our max was 167 so far. Here comes a little ambush and sneak attack. Come on, barrel. There we go. The explosive slime. Now we'll have some explosions, a little flashbang. And that's your Borderlands 3 test footage so you can see what it's like to game on the Sceptre monitor. For all you next-gen console users out there, I haven't forgotten about you. We have the PlayStation 5 connected right here. Here's our video output information. You're gonna get 1920 1080 at 60 hertz with this monitor using the PlayStation 5. And for you Xboxers out there, I got the Xbox Series X connected. We're looking at our TV and display options, and same thing, 1080p resolution. We don't even have any other choices for our refresh rate, so we'll be getting 60 hertz. You can find out more right here if you go to the 4K TV detail screen. And right there, everything is a no. So 1080p 60 is what it is. So now let me share with you my final thoughts in regards to this Sceptre 24-inch monitor. Honestly, you get what you pay for, and in this case, it's a fantastic deal. Whether you want the 22-inch, 24-inch, or 27-inch version, Sceptre gives you a lot of bang for buck. That's the best way to describe it. 2 HDMI ports, VGA port, built-in speakers, audio in, audio out. What more could you ask for? We got VESA mount. It's really nice. 1080p, 75 hertz, decently accurate in regards to color representation as well. Sure, they could improve the resolution and the refresh rate and the color accuracy, but I can say that for every monitor, regardless of make, model, and price, we're always going to want more. So for this particular monitor, here's what I would actually change. It would actually come down to just the stand. I'm happy with the performance, how everything looks. The menu's nice, easy to use. 1080p, 75 hertz at this price point is definitely well within range and ballpark. But I'd like to have a better stand with some height adjustments. Maybe swivel and rotation would be an extra added bonus. And maybe if there's a way they can do some of that without increasing the price too much, because that's going to be the give and take here, right? What can we change or improve without drastically changing the price point in which this product falls? But again, they have a VESA mount option, so you can bring your own stand and do all of that, and maybe a lot of you will. So basically, this monitor excels for a work from home setup, a second screen, maybe a cheap dual or triple monitor setup, and you're on a budget. That would work for this. I mean, the bezels are really thin, so super slim. It's a good, solid monitor for the price that you're paying. Think maybe kids' room, playroom, kitchen, garage, man cave, anything along those lines. If you're looking for a budget-friendly monitor, look no more. You found it, baby. Let's go.